what we're looking at here is a 1993 Casablanca San Marino. This is a 3-speed model, and I had no idea that they even came in 3-speed until I found this one. So that's kind of interesting. This one is in very rough shape. The motor is very scratched up. So let's do a 360 on this motor here. I'm trying to step around all my crap here on the floor. Alright. So now you kind of know what kind of condition the motor's in. It's a lot better than it was. The whole thing was covered in kitchen grease, but now it's very clean. One of these areas here, it may have even been that one, was real like pushed in. It was I called it a crater in the motor housing, and that was actually thankfully not due to this being bent, but that side band inside of there was extremely screwed up. So I took it apart and kind of put the side band against my table here and kind of flattened it out with a hammer, and that took care of that. Kind of looks crappy if you look at the sideband itself, but the good thing about the San Marino is you don't even see the sideband because it's inside of there. It holds the motor housing together. Also, the 3 screws that hold the housing together, so that one and wherever the other 2 are, were extremely bent, so they were extremely hard to get in and out. But I eventually got them out and then back in, and they seem to be holding up fine. It also had a terrible light kit on here that was not Casablanca. It was some weird halogen thing. It was one of those weird things that take like a long halogen bulb, and it was in shit condition. And when I got it and I plugged the fan in, the light didn't come on when I first tested it, and apparently the sellers ripped the wires out or something because they were just sitting in there broken to pieces. I don't know what the story was there. It also came with no hang true. That hang true canopy is a spare one. No crossbar either. And it had no flywheel screws either. So yeah, this thing was kind of a mess. And when I went to their house and was looking at it on their front porch, they had a whole bunch of plastic bags. And they said all the parts were in there. And right in front of the cellar, I opened up all the bags and dumped them out on the ground. And next thing you know, there were just piles of crap, hardware in there that had nothing to do with this fan. Stuff you'd find, it looked like a buildup of hardware after like 50 light fixtures. It was absolutely ridiculous. So I left a mess on his porch for him to clean up because I was pretty pissed about it. But yeah, here we are. Here's low speed. After collecting fans long enough and sellers bullshitting with you, it gets old after a while. And screwing you over and whatnot. And after fussing with him for a while, I ended up getting this fan for $5. So you can't really complain there. It just really sucks how this is not in the greatest condition. The motor's all scratched up. And honestly, if it weren't for that light kit, protecting the bottom of that switch cap there, that would probably be all destroyed as well. But I think the light kit being there is what saved that. Here's medium. Bearings were actually good on this thing, which is a one positive thing about this deal. The pull chain was also very rough and squeaking and barely even wanted to pull, so I put some WD-40 in there. I'm actually trying to find, I can't find it. I was looking for the original switch to the light kit for this thing, but I can't even find it now. Right here's high. So basically the light kit pull chain switch was completely stuck. You couldn't pull it at all. But after putting some WD-40 in that one as well, it started working again. So now I'm just keeping that in spare parts. I trashed the light kit though, because it was in terrible shape. So of course, when you have sellers out there banging these fans up, treating them like they're garbage, of course, blade arms are going to get bent and they're going to shake around like this. But other than the shake, and it can be balanced, it runs pretty good. And that pull chain fob that's on there was actually on there when I got it. And that's all for this beat up 1993 Casablanca San Marino.